You're listening to the Rebel Scum podcast.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
From odds making to list rankings, we've got you covered. And don't forget to join us on Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
Episode 155, Rebel Scum podcast. That's what you call a cold open. Did you know that? Cold open. I'm James, and I'm joined with Brock. What up, Brock?
Not much. That was a sentence. That's not an opening of any sort.
Oh, I opened the show. It's still an opening. Coldly. There was no, I mean, I guess it's not a cold open. A cold open would be like, I don't know. But I'm James. He's
we
Brock.
talk about.
Keep going. You were on to something.
This is the Rebel Scum podcast. We're scum. Scum. Yeah. No, it's all good.
We got a really cool show.
155 of these.
155 of these things on the internet just keeps. I'm tethering from my phone and it's still acting. We got a cool show coming up. Vote of No Confidence coming up after Never Tell Me the Odds. So stick around for that. Big news day, Brock. I don't know if you know, but big news day. We're recording this on Wednesday, but Thursday when this drops, early in the morning. Good morning, America will be debuting Baby Yoda merchandise up the wazoo. Some people would argue this is, 4 months too late. The UK is like, what's a Baby Yoda? So we gotta. Like no one knows what Baby Yoda is.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to going to a comic convention, looking down Artist Alley, because I don't. No, Fan Expo is our big convention here. We've mentioned it before, but that happened way before Mandalorian dropped. So there's a Toronto Comic Con that
in March.
In March. So I might have some real Baby Yoda merchandise. So I'm pretty psyched to check that out.
Yeah.
In regards to out, I don't know, man. Like, I guess the Funko Pop, you know me, like it might be cool.
It's the highest. It's the highest pre-selling Funko Pop of all time.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, of all time. It's broken records.
Don't get me wrong. I love Baby, but I'm not psyched to buy anything of it. I don't know. Maybe you know me. If I see a cool shirt, then all bets are off.
I'll tell you.
But I don't know.
I probably would have been down to buy a few things at Christmas time. For like joke gifts, or even like Valentine's and my anniversary just passed, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Aaron something Baby Yoda as a joke." And like, there's nothing, and the things that they are. The one thing I just can't wrap my head around with Baby Yoda is I understand they hit it because they're like, we want it to be a surprise. We want it to be a surprise, and I completely understand that and respect that and appreciate that. However, Disney, I mean, Lucasfilm aside, Disney owns Lucasfilm. So Disney has the greatest artists living, working for them. You're telling me none of them could have turned around a Baby Yoda t-shirt within like a minute of that thing debuting on The Mandalorian? Like the merch, but the merch that came out was the artwork. Like, it's like, well, that's just the art of book. Like, you don't give me like, just wow, you have the best artists in the world. Just put it on a t-shirt. You can print it in 2 seconds. Put it on TeePublic. Everyone else did.
Yeah, there has been merchandise I've seen, but I don't like. Again, I don't think it's out. You see so much stuff like this is about to come out, and you're like, ooh, and then I'm like, I have other things to do.
Yeah.
Here's my question, and maybe this is silly: are kids watching Mandalorian? They must be, yeah. Or is it too? That's kind of like that.
I don't have kids. I don't know. I know my friend Steve over at work, his son Colby, who I saw Rise of Skywalker with, wanted to watch the Baby Yoda show.
And our good buddy Aaron Quinton watches it with his son, who's been on the show. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have kids and they're watching it, let us know, because I have no idea. I don't know. But Baby Yoda to me is like, the adult. They got the adult crowd is what they want to get, and that's why it was so strange to me that they're like, we have a Tumblr with this art of stuff. I'm just like, well, that's weird. Brock, your camera just went.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how.
Mini Brock on the screen right now.
Lord. It's like I moved in it.
It's not as funny as I'm making it sound, but I wasn't really looking at it. It was like, and I thought I was having like a seizure, is what I thought was happening.
It like froze on my end too for a second, and then it popped me all the way out.
Well, you look crystal clear right now, so that's a bonus. That's a bonus. I gotta bring something up. So it's been a slow little while on Star Wars right now. Clone Wars is hitting Friday. Great, everyone's excited about Clone Wars. I think the first 4 episodes though aren't going to be. They're going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be surprising because I believe the information for them has already been kind of released for these 4 episodes. Like they were like the unreleased episodes. Here they are. So that's fine. And I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to talk to you about the Clone Wars returning. # Clone Wars save. Big success. I would say that this was the first step in the Sonic the Hedgehog redesign.
Great.
Yeah, now your image just left, and now you're.
Oh, stand by. Hold on. But yeah, Clone Wars. I'm halfway through season 3. I really dropped the ball on getting that done in time. But I was thinking about it today. I'm excited for when season 7 is done, because I think I'm gonna, the second I finish watching it, start watching Rebels where Ahsoka shows up and see how that feels together. I don't think I should rewatch Rebels before, though. I'm just so jazzed to figure out if it fits together. Maybe not. I don't think it needs to. You know what I mean? But like,
there's enough time passes between them that I don't think it needs to directly connect. Okay.
But yeah, no, it's I'm psyched, and it's interesting rewatching the show, especially the first season, because I don't know if it's because we've had Rebels so much now, or there's something about the first season that felt different on this watch. And I feel like I've watched the first season a bunch of times, because you know how like I'll start watching it and then it's a sort of you'll watch that and then you'll get distracted. Like, yeah, I'm really psyched to get to the Darth Maul stuff, because I can remember the episodes where he first shows up and he's crazy, but like the Darksaber Maul stuff, I'm like, I've completely blanked that out. But I will say also, rewatching it, seeing Death Watch and like starting to put the names back into my memory again. It's like I have memento disease where it's like, yes, I've watched this, but I don't remember exactly what happened. So yeah, I love Clone Wars.
I can't wait for it. The Maul Darksaber stuff is on the tip of my the forefront of my mind, because we've done videos on Scavenger Scum on it and stuff. So it's like, it's feel like I've seen that recently, even though I haven't seen it in a while. But we're doing the rewatch. I've been rewatching it every once in a while, and it's great quality. I hope we get some. See, this is what I talked about this last week, where we're getting the Knights of Ren comic, which is a fantastic comic. I don't want to take anything away from that. But imagine a Clone Wars style show.
Oh yeah,
and that it feels like there's like these opportunities to go with, and because they're so secretive on everything, we're missing out on what could be in a lot of ways. So I'm really excited for it.
Like Dark Horse did a really good series called Republic, which is where like Quinlan Voss got really huge. And thinking back now, I don't remember the Troopers being a huge part of it. They would have been, because it's basically the Clone Wars, I think. But like I would hands down read something with more clone stuff. Like,
I love the clones. Well, everyone knows clones, stormtroopers, and porks. But yeah, Star Wars, other than that, like Star Wars has kind of been minor. I'm sure. Well, actually, I have no idea what your news are, but the Blu-ray and digital release of Rise of Skywalker was announced, and that big box set, which we were kind of talking about a few weeks ago. And I said, I'll get it. And I told Erin today I want it. She goes, oh, how much is it? $1,000? And I was like, probably. I haven't really looked into it, but it looks nice. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. The problem I think some people are having is it's the 4K that is on Disney Plus. So it's like, well, why did we buy 4K if you're gonna just, or why did we do the subscription to Disney Plus if you're just gonna sell it again? And I'm like, well, who cares? Like,
well, that's the thing. Well, I mean, they're saying that for this. Did they say that about Endgame?
yeah, good point.
Or any Marvel, like, I mean, I know a lot of the Marvels before this, but it's like this is just the thing that's going to be in our lives now. Either you're going to want your own physical copy of it, your own digital copy, or you're just going to be fine with Disney Plus, and that's just where we are right now. And I think for people that like Star Wars, for Star Wars fans, I think this is a good collector piece for it. My concern is that it is the complete Skywalker saga, and if they freaking come around and say, oh, there's one more, I'm gonna be like, well, now I'm ticked off. That's what I'll lose it is when you start to do that to me. If it is I hope this is the end of the Skywalker saga. I can hear Rural Farm Boy right now. This is the end. He's yelling at us. Oh, also shout out to Rural Farm Boy. Usually these shows drop on Wednesdays. It was a long weekend here. We had lots of things going on. We didn't have time to record. But he showed us on Twitter. He goes, I'm waiting. Where are you? On Wednesday at 7. And sorry about that. But it's Thursday at 7 this week. So we're glad you're here because I'm guessing you're all here. And we haven't missed a beat, Brock.
Yeah. Did you say bees?
Bees smink. Bees smink. Bees smink. So I was like, I every once in a while I Google Star Wars. What's up, Star Wars? And this time I did it, and there was nothing really going on in Star Wars. And
hugely monumental. Trust me, though, I have news.
Oh no, things are happening in Star Wars, but nothing like, ooh, that's a hot topic or anything. And then I don't like to bring this company up, Brock, but I have to. Forbes magazine.
Yeah.
Have you read Forbes magazine?
Like physically or just
any type of Forbes?
I mean, if you search I search Star Wars on a weekly basis for the news. That's spoiler. I just cut and paste all this stuff. But every time I get something, I'm like, why are you guys talking about Star Wars? Like, if talking about Lucasfilm making money makes sense to me because Forbes is
a
business rag thing, right? You know?
So
yeah.
Forbes, since Solo, I don't know about Last Jedi, but since Solo, Forbes has just wanted to come down on Star Wars.
Yeah. Why?
And every time I type in Star Wars for like the last couple months, more than a couple months, it's been this giant douchebag, Scott Mendelson, pissing all over Star Wars. And I'm to this point now, when I understand that we're in a clickbait culture, like the title of this video is Raylo Babies, and there's a reason for that. But we understand everything is clickbait. But this jackwad keeps writing these negative articles, and it's the worst type of clickbait, and it's the type that people like him are like would go against if a YouTuber. There are YouTubers that do all this hate videos, right? That's what these Forbes articles are becoming. It's really getting annoying, and the worst part is, I'm gonna stop talking about the name of everything now, because they're getting way too much attention for it. Everybody is like, oh, how could you say that? I think what needs to happen here, Brock, is we need to just stop acknowledging that certain, I don't know what they are, smut magazine. We'll call it a smut magazine. We need to stop acknowledging it altogether and let it just die off like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru on Tatooine. Too soon. But seriously, it's the Star Wars fandom is like it's always fractured, but it's articles like this and clickbait links for this hate culture like this from a major company. Honestly, it's disgusting, and I'm sick of every time I type in Star Wars, it appears on a Google search I want to contact Google and say, yo, this offends me. It's just offensive because they're not about anything. It's just about this one jackass's hate for Star Wars.
It's just lazy journalism because it's like it's weird that he's doing all of the stories, so it's sort of like he's convinced someone in the editorial staff's like, yeah, I'll just churn out Star Wars articles, and I feel I've read a couple just because I'm like, oh, maybe there's something here, but it's a lot of repetition. I get, I mean, I understand some websites you have to explain stuff, like. There's a Cassian Andor story in the news, and like, it's not very long. That's why I have a bunch of stories this week. But just saying, here's the piece of information you need. It's basically 2 sentences, and then it's a whole article just explaining who Cassian Andor is. And I'm like, well, first, we live in a time. Maybe my father wouldn't do this. I use my father as an example, but if he were to see this article and it just said the news of Cassian Andor, then logically in the internet age, you're like, who is Cassian Andor? You're already on the internet. Like, why wouldn't you just Google it? I get it. You gotta, I took journalism too. I probably would get to that point as well. But like, there's a point where you're like, this is lazy. And Forbes, why would I go to it for movies stuff at all? I don't, have they rebranded themselves? I think we've talked about this before. Like, I can expect that from the Huffington Post because they were like, we're a little different. But like, I don't think Huffington Post and Forbes are two different things. But like, Huffington Post will just throw random stories and like, okay, yeah, I understand. So I don't know.
Well, that's the problem with Forbes though, is they have so much backing that they can push themselves to be at the front of all my Google searches when all they're doing is having jackass number 1 write an article about how much he hates something. I get it. You don't like it. I don't care. I could go online. Like, if it was your blog, Brock, if you wrote a blog and you hated Star Wars, respect. But this is a major smut company doing this. I don't like. I just like, get over Star Wars and get over it. I'm like, what I'm saying though is we as fans need to stop clicking on that and those type of articles if we want them to go away. We got to start clicking on the Clone Wars saved articles, those happy ones that are positive.
Yeah, I still don't understand why. Again, I don't want to really talk about Rise of Skywalker per se. But like, I keep seeing articles that's like, oh, they've given up on Star Wars. Like, but it always includes like, it made like this many billions of dollars. I'm like it made money. I would love to know what the like current box office. I know it's like, it's technically a success. It's not breaking records, I don't think. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just sort of like, oh, it's a bomb. Like, is it a bomb? I'm pretty sure you can still go see it in theaters. No, like, I don't know.
I think it is fading. I wouldn't say it's a bomb. I don't think it was the massive success they were hoping for when they branded it the end of the Skywalker saga. But it's not a failure. No. It's just these companies will say it, and then people will believe it, and then it starts to trend and trend and trend, and you're like, because. Yeah, it's annoying. It's frustrating when I just want to come on and I want to say, like, I just want to read something about Star Wars and be like, Brock, we should talk about what's in the news right now because this is exciting. And instead, I've got to put up with jerk, screen rant, jerk. Like, it's like, how many articles I'm over it.
Are you though?
I'm not. It's just annoying. And anyway. Ugh, God.
Can't you just, if I put in Forbes, I'm looking at it right now, and if I click down on this, I'm just trying to see, like, you should be able to just, like, cancel it from your searches. Like,
you can? If you could do that, let me know if anyone knows how to do that, because we should all do that with Forbes, man.
You could, like, block a site. I wouldn't
Forbes.
See why.
If it was about money, I would read it, but they're not. They're just like, the reason why Star Wars doesn't work is because I like to... I'm over it.
This is just astounding content we're creating here.
This is soapbox. I don't like them. I don't care if they don't like me. I really don't care. There's too much negativity out there in the world. We don't need big corporations to contribute to that. Maybe people should be a little bit more freaking positive, and we can come out here and smile like the Joker, like Joaquin Phoenix. How about that? Wait a minute. That one took a turn. Yeah, that one was awkward. Star Wars won. Oh my God, what happened? Star Wars won 0 Oscars. Yet again, I'm not gonna lie. There was a small part of me thought that John Williams was gonna snag it because it's his last go round at Star Wars, his last kick at the can at the franchise. And the Oscars tend to work like that. But there didn't seem to be a big enough push from Lucasfilm, Disney, or the media in general for him to win one because it was his last go around. Do you think he deserved an Oscar for Star Wars? At least one. What do you think?
Who did win? Who won Best Score or whatever it is?
I don't know. Mary Poppins Returns? I can't remember.
That's not it. I don't know.
Joker won.
Was it music?
By the way, side Akbar. When the Joker won, I was half asleep and I was like, "Oh, Joker won for Best Music," and I said it had a score. So. No offense, I'm sure it was great, but I watched the movie the day before the Oscars, and I didn't even know it had a score. So,
I don't know. I just can't think of any music that stands out in Rise of Skywalker outside of the normal stuff.
Which is, I think, the reason why it wasn't.
Yeah, he got a nomination. It's John Williams. It'd be nice. He's going to get some kind of lifetime award at some point if he hasn't already. Whatevs. Whatever. The guy, it's like, look at his career just with Star Wars, but then you're like, oh, he's the Superman score. He's Indiana Jones. He's
Harry Potter, Hook.
Harry Potter. Yeah, I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah,
you want to do that? You want me to do that song I've done 9 other times? Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, that's what I mean. A lot of times with the Academy Awards is they give, Peter Jackson Best Director, not for the first one or the second one, but he's gonna get it for Return of the King. They like to give it the retroactive one. Okay, you earned your dues. Here you go. You get this Oscar now. And I know he's won, I think, 2 in the past, so I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. But I just thought for his entire work in Star Wars, I don't know, no offense to the other nominees, and I haven't seen them all, and I've heard some of them are really great. He's John Williams. I personally, it didn't bother me because, again, I didn't know Joker had a theme, and I still wasn't like, It just, I think John Williams, it would be nice if he got an honorary one because you look at the movies we just mentioned, and that's 3 of the 9,000 that he's scored.
Yeah, download one of his greatest hits. I don't know what you would call what he does, the best of John Williams, and there's so much to it. I downloaded it once. Can't remember which. Probably Apple Music when I had an iPhone, and I was like, wow, there's so many songs. But yeah, it's great.
He is a master.
No.
The other ones, it was nominated for 2 others, sound design and probably sound editing. I gotta say, the sound design in the sequel trilogy, not my favorite. I said that before. I'll continue it. No, wait. I shouldn't say not my favorite. The lightsaber sounds are not nearly as good as they were in the originals or the prequels. They don't have the je ne sais quoi. I have no idea what to call it, but there's something missing from it. If you watch, I was just watching, every time I watch a prequel, I'm like, oh, that lightsaber sound. And I'll never forget the time in the theater watching Force Awakens, smiling the whole time. And when Finn turned on the lightsaber, I was waiting for that sound, and it fell flat to me. It's missing. I don't know. It's almost too digital, which I guess makes sense because we're in a digital age.
That's true. I have read that on Forbes. Yeah. Star Wars.
Star Wars. Very excited. Erin was watching This Is Us as we're recording. She's catching up, and apparently there was a Star Wars reference. She said, "You're missing the Star Wars reference." And I was like, "Tell me what other miserable crap is happening." Because I don't know if anyone's seen that show, but it is nonstop miserable nonsense after miserable nonsense. What? It's Murphy's Law. They should have just called it Murphy's Law.
Yeah. I don't think it's special to have a Star Wars reference. Although, what Reham does that to me too, where I forget what she did something recently. Someone referenced Star Wars. Like, I thought of you. I'm like, yeah, that's nice.
Hey.
And that is a relationship.
Do you think Star Wars is too mainstream now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been in the pop culture zeitgeist for 40 years. I think it's there's one writer that on every writing staff is like, whoa, we could put Star Wars. I'm like, he's the kooky one. But,
it is everywhere. It's impressive where there was a time when only Kevin Smith would acknowledge Star Wars' existence.
Yeah, and like now, like all major sports teams have a Star Wars night. Like I work for the Blue Jays. The last 2 years they've done.
Oh, you can't see my hat right now.
No, are you wearing?
I'm wearing the R2 hat. Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing one this year. I think they are, but like I've been in the production meetings where they talk about it, and they're like so reluctant to do it. But like everybody does Star Wars nights. In fact, I didn't put it in the news, but the Philadelphia Flyers are having a Star Wars night. I think it has to be March because they wouldn't technically be still playing in May, or would it be playoffs by then?
They wouldn't do it in May though.
No. Anyways, so it's in March at some point. It's a cool shirt. It's the Flyers logo, but it's where the P part of it, I guess, is the Falcon. Or no.
Oh.
It's anyway, if you look it up, it's pretty sweet. And then there's like some like video of it with Gritty, which is like
obviously.
Yeah. So like if Gritty can like Star Wars make Star Wars references, like
there was one team, I don't know where it was, I can't remember where it was, where it was Star Wars night and they got a goal, and their goal celebration was this player skated to the bench and choked everyone on the bench, and they all did. It was like that's pretty cool. That's
elaborate.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's like a football move, man. Football players would do that. I'm down for that. You want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
Never tell me the odds.
Yeah.
They're brought to us by Patreon.
And here are our fine patrons who think that we're so great that they like to give us their hard-earned cash. And thank you very much. These people are executive producer Heidi Fetter, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Aaron Quinton, Al Schuler, Phil Stanforth, Janet Rubio, Austin Schur, Scott D, Andy Higgins, Josh Price, and Mason Hope. Matt
W, Tony Comstock, Rural Farm Boy, Frank Perkins, Sooner Thrawn, Neil Lowry, D Raven Spencer, Matt Dallas, DJ Blake, Gleek Play 1, Kayla Davis, Charlotte, Mariah Weekland, Girls with Sabers, who will be coming on shortly, and Dinner Nerds.
Straight from Philly itself.
No, he's in Pittsburgh. Am I allowed to say that? Maybe he's still in Philly. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce where he is. Yeah, he did. He did. He's like,
excuse you.
It's like, I have so many subscribers, I must move. We shall unsubscribe to the Den of Nerds.
Den of Nerds is a fantastic patron. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very supportive.
Living in the state of Pennsylvania.
No, he doesn't like Andrew, though, so that's why we like him.
Don't be a dirt.
All right, never tell me the odds. Thank you, Patreon, for all of your support. Here we go. First odd. The odds of Jar Jar Binks appearing on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. This was a rumor dating back, but these scripts have all been thrown in the trash. So what do you think, Brock?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Of it happening, though, I'm going to go full Brock. Yeah. I think it would be great. I think it would be fantastic. Do it. But I don't know. Maybe that's why they're rewriting it.
I'm also going to go full Brock. I really want to see this happen. I almost feel like Ewan McGregor would be like, no. But also, with all these Ahmed Best revelations, maybe he'd be like, okay, let's put Ahmed Best in this show. So I'm going to go full Brock. I 100% would like to see that happen. Next on, the odds of Admiral Radis appearing on the Cassian Andor series. Will Radis appear on Cassian Andor?
I think it's a smart move. Like, I guess you say he's a fan favorite. People like him. He's basically northern version of Admiral Akbar. So, yeah, and I assume Cassian Andor is going to have to deal with the Rebel Alliance at some point. Like, that's probably what the show is going to be mostly about. So put him in. It's a guy in a mask. Easy. So I'm going to go 85%.
I'm going to go 79. I'm with you on this one. I think, how do you not put him in? I think it was supposed to, it's funny because he was supposed to be Akbar, but I love Radis. I would like to see more Radis. He's so powerful. He's so important to Star Wars as well that giving him more to do would be beneficial to the franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
And our final the odds of a Disney Plus series about a character or event mentioned in the sequel trilogy.
100%.
Wow.
Because they gotta do something. I mean, there's so many things that they just set up in Last Jedi or Return of the King, Rise of Skywalker that they can make shows off. Like I said it before, Lando and Luke looking for, what is it they're looking for? The Wayfinder, and then sort of they understand who Rey is. That would be cool. Make it a cartoon. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not in love with it, but like Jana and Lando going off and trying to figure out who she is. Okay. And then you got what's her face? Carrie Russell.
Zori Bliss.
And there's your opportunity to get more Babu Frick. Like, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Like, boom.
And then of course Rose Tico.
Rose.
I'm gonna go 70.3%. They need to start doing these things. Just give it to us, man. Marvel is white. Like, why are they? It's almost like they're afraid of Star Wars, afraid of giving us these things. So, it's vote no confidence time. Brock, you ready?
I'm always ready.
That's debatable.
James.
Let's bring in our guests. We've got two special guests with us today from across. Can we say across the globe, Brock? Is that fair? It's not, but could we say it?
It's globe adjacent.
There's water separating us and land.
Right.
All right, we've got representing the Knights of Ren, Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Brock. How you doing, James? Oh, yeah.
Bringing that big Jedi energy.
Yeah. Sith energy.
Technology, yeah.
And representing the Praetorian Guards, we've got Charlie. Charlie, what's up?
Hey, how we doing? I'm going to be the Praetorian Guard, a little more dignified, so I won't do the Macho Man impression. So my stately red robes here. Hold on. That's,
Awesome.
There you go. Perfect. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's ready.
Oh.
You got that on surprisingly fast.
Yeah, very fast. It's almost like he is Kylo Ren.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Macho Man Ren. Macho Ren.
Get ready to duel Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how the rules work. This is very serious stuff. This is a debate. We're debating who was, would you say better? Maybe better, the Knights of Ren versus Praetorian Guard here. Brock, who's your money on tonight?
This is hard because I've been really interested in the Knights of Ren, but it was such a disappointment in Rise of Skywalker. Praetorian Guards, I will agree, there's a class to them, but again, unknown. Like, they're just a group of fighters that are just so interesting, but there's no follow through. But so I am conflicted myself. I will give you a proper answer at the end of this, I think.
Look, Charlie, don't let me down. I mean, you guys can't see me now, but I got a Praetorian Guard right over my right shoulder.
Yeah.
Rob, I'm sorry. But I do.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
covered, don't worry.
But you know what? You got to win me over. You get to win me over. So you know, maybe the pressures are all on Charlie right now because I'm in there. And
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. All right, Knights of Ren is going to go first. Why don't you take it, Kylo?
Yo, you guys, the Praetorian Guard, right? They walking around. They just live in a chamber. What are they doing there? Thumb rustling? They just waiting for Snoke to just sit there? What if Snoke disappears for a minute? What do they do then? Do they cook flambe? Or do they chew eggs? Do they just piddle paddle? Or do they practice? I want to know this, Charlie. Because outside of that, you guys don't leave the room much. What do you do?
We do a lot. We do a lot. All right. So let me educate you a little bit. History in numbers. All right. Praetorian Guard, based off of, for us that are not in the Star Wars lore, based off of the Roman Praetorian Guard that protected the Emperor. Right. So it's rich in flavor. It's rich in history. Not only that, you see the first edition of them in Return of the Jedi with the Red Guard, the Red Royal Guard. They are the Praetorian Guard. Okay. So we have lots of history on our side. Not only that, we have the numbers. There are eight elite members of the Praetorian Guard. How many are Knights of Ren?
6.
6. Oh, okay. So we have the numbers on our side. Bring on your Jedi, because I can combat that as well. So we have the history and we have the numbers. What else you got?
Oh, man, dude, we're not even part of the Jedi, man. We got Dark Force. We're just Dark Force users because we're like little witches just walking around, just doing things. And we wear black. Black is so dastardly with buckles, big buckles that we make ourselves and we take from our foes. And if we defeat you in battle, we would have a bunch of red buckles, which would then make us look like Atlanta Falcon fans. But yet, we would still have to burn it all because we love the black. And our weapons and our armors are just so beautiful.
Wait, Brock, how do you feel about the buckles comment? Are you are you down with the buckles?
Man, I never thought we were talking about belt buckles. Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
good point.
Well, you want to talk about weapons and armor?
Yes.
I got you covered. All right. So we have 8 guards broken down into 2 per group. So you have 4 different groups. All right. So 2 of them are equipped with vibro benzitos.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 of them that have the electro chain whip that can be broken down as a staff. Then we have 2 that have the vibro vlog, which is similar to the Bacento. It's just longer and wider. Then we have 2 more that held 2 twin vibro blades that could separate. Not only can it be used as a staff, they can separate. And you want to talk about armor. We'll talk about armor. They have layered plate mail. Layered plate mail, just like the Bushido warriors in Japanese history. All right. They can be energized to deflect blaster bolts. They help repel the strikes against the lightsabers. What else do you
I see it, but you know what? I look at that armor, right? I look at that armor, and all I see is Madonna. Like, you're just wearing your underwear out on the side of your things now. You think you're cool. You don't walk around talking about you, a material crew. You got to know the whole crew itself. Your weapons might be a little cool. You had me at the Vibrolance, but those whips, come on, man. Ooh, let me whip it out. Let me whip it out. I'm going to whip you. Whip.
All right. So, you know, even without the weapons, check this out. We are trained in Terraskasi.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
We are also trained in the Connie hand, which is taught to the Jedi as their non-lightsaber training. They are also trained in Ikani. I probably am massacring these names, but the Ikani martial arts, which is taught only to the Praetorian Guard. Not only that, they also have another training style, which is Nar Kanji, which is the blind alley fighting.
Yeah.
Different styles. And your guys, I mean, if you want, I mean, I could read off some of my notes on what you have have for fighting style, but I mean, it's.
We're the whole rumor is that there was a rumor that the Knights of Ren were actually the Praetorian Guard, but the Praetorian Guard was slain. So that rumor is debunked. But I will tell you something. You got little pretty armors and little things, and you have so much fun. And I see you went to Fax. I thought about going Fax. I was like, you know what? But our weapons are badass. And you know what's even better? We got a comic line as well. We're in it. We're in it all over. Ren's with us. You're learning the history. We got Ben Solo joining the group now. He's going to eventually lead us to the promised land, and we're going to fight him in the end, because that's what we do.
We'll get to that here. All right. So you want to talk about scenes. You want to talk about movies. Okay. The Last Jedi. All right. The scene with the Praetorian Guard lasted over 3 minutes. The fight scene lasted over 3 minutes.
Yep.
Rise of Skywalker. How long did that fight scene last? How long did it take Kylo or Ben to dispatch them? 46 seconds.
Once he got the lightsaber, but he was scared. He was so scared of us. He wouldn't even use his force powers.
Not only that, it took 2 Jedi. It took Kylo and Rey to dispatch all of the guard. Okay.
That's a beautiful argument. That was an argument if I got the Praetorian, I was going to make the most, because it did take 2 highly powered. It took a Skywalker and, of course, a Palpatine to defeat them. But they were all caught off. They were also confused. So the Praetorian Guard had an advantage. Whereas when we stepped onto the scene, we got some nice licks in on Sir Ben Solo, and we were ready to bring the pain. I got so much more coming for you.
Here's my last feather in the cap. In the novelization of The Last Jedi, it talks extensively about how scared Kylo Ren was of the Guard, and that he really didn't stand a chance against them. Canon, right there. He had to have Rey in order to win.
You that's it? Well, here we go. You ready? Break it down. The Knights of Ren is the name of the gang, and you better be scared, so let's start the roll call off, just to be fair. Affleck brings the strategy like I bring the pain. Cardo is the armor. His mods are insane. Karuk has our backs like a sniper in the jungle, while Trojan collects the heads from your red-ass bungles. Ushar will make you grovel for mercy while you end up like Cersei, and last but not least, Vikrul the Harvester will cut through the rest because the Knights of Ren are the best. Oh, yeah!
You might have a rap, no matter what, where on the scale you want to rate that, but I have the facts. And the facts don't lie.
He's like a lawyer.
Facts, and I wrote a rap.
Facts versus rap. Brock, any closing thoughts today?
I gotta be real. Now, the pomp and circumstance of the Knights of Ren, it's easy. I could go to the dark side, but I gotta say, the current stance of both of these, I think the Praetorian Guards are superior. They're just a little bit more to it. I will put an asterisk on it. I feel that we're going to learn more about the Knights of Ren. I think we need to revisit this. But for me, it's got to be Praetorian Guards. And ironically, I was reading something historical and mentioned the real Praetorian Guards. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. But, yeah, I'm sorry. Rob. I have to go with the Praetorian Guards.
It's okay.
Debated, like, superbly, though. Like,
it was
on both sides. But I got to say, it's been a delight just doing what you put the mask on, and I could still hear what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm always gonna pick Knights of Ren just so I don't get force choked through the monitor right now. But this is not just about Brock and I. We want to know what everybody watching and listening has to say. Give us a comment below. Give us your vote. Give us a vote. We will announce the winner after it has been on for this week. So next week's episode 156, we will have the winner. Why don't you guys each, starting with Rob, why don't you guys each tell us where they could find you and any last thoughts you want to point out to push you over the edge?
Charlie, since you live farthest west, you can go first.
Well, I appreciate it. All right. So you can find me on Twitter at dblakejr7, or just look for any tweets that have Charlie Skywalker on there. I also host a podcast, Star Wars Through the Ages. I'm a little behind on that, but I'll get back going. And yeah, I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting on Twitter. Appreciate you guys, and Rob, that was amazing. I loved it.
Thanks, man. I had a great time going up to get you too, man. I hear your name mentioned all the time on the podcast since I, been on board. You can find me at Heat Override with just an O. If you put 2 zeros like the way I spell it, you'll get to Erie Macho Man. Then you can go check out my Macho Man suit. But you can find me there. I do a podcast. It's called Bring the Pain. That's pretty much how my podcasts go. I'm completely insane. I didn't do that for the rhyme, but I know these guys are up against the time. Guys, thank you so much for giving us the best. Now, can I just hear that the Knights of Ren are above all the rest?
Oh, boom.
We'll find out next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Brock, you want to read some news?
You always know I'm ready to read the news, baby.
Thanks, guys, so much for joining us and doing the Voting Conference. Let's hit up the Hollow News. Hollow News, da-da-da-da-da-da, Hollow News. My mic is open. No, I'm shutting it off. Bye, Brock, enjoy.
Hollow News, the news you need to know right now. Let's just skip over the Blu-ray stuff. The Blu-ray is coming out for Rise of Skywalker March 31st, as well as a massive box set, or you can buy them separately. They will be in 4K UHD. There will be lots of things. Perhaps I will look them up if there's anything but you're getting some good stuff. I know that each one's getting a lot of, at least commentary seem to be across the board. I don't know if they're new ones. I noticed that there is one with George Lucas and Carrie Fisher for one of the originals. I think New Hope. That's cool. I don't know if it's a pre-existing one. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can't see them rewatching it for the upteenth time. But we'll move on. Cassian Andor, that was announced or brought up, or I don't know how they put out this information. The upcoming Star Wars Cassian Andor show will be undergoing rewrites before it starts production. The new series is set to premiere on the Disney Plus streaming site, but I don't think there is any slot for it as of yet. But that's where it's going to be. So, hooray! It's not dead yet. And after the excitement of seeing Rey with her yellow lightsaber, it was dropped recently this week that issue 6 of the ongoing Star Wars series by Marvel Comics depicts a RB Silva's cover with Luke in his usual X-Wing jumpsuit, but he is holding a yellow lightsaber. Now, there's no details on it. It's just a cover. But we do know the story is dealing with what exactly happened with Luke Skywalker's lightsaber after the events of Empire Strikes Back. And we know that the upcoming issue number 3 sees the Scooby Gang returning to Cloud City after Empire Strikes Back to find out where it's going, because he's had a premonition or a vision that there is a cloaked figure with his lightsaber. So we will find out soon. But let's pump the brakes. Maybe this yellow lightsaber is just a red-yellow pairing. I don't know. And in our final story today, wrestling fans, your world is now crashed with Star Wars. Sasha Banks, the WWE superstar wrestler, it has been announced. I think Matt Men Pro Wrestling Podcast are the ones that dropped the info. She has been cast in Season 2 of Star Wars The Mandalorian. Details of her character have not been revealed, but it is official. She has been put in it, so that's very exciting. She'll be an excellent addition to the show. Hopefully she has a character, not just a background. But if you like wrestling, well, you're going to like this next season of The Mandalorian. And this has been your Hollow News.
How many tables will she go through?
I don't know, but she could take stunts. She would be cool as like a Twi'lek, but then like,
well, just as long as
female can't be a Twi'lek or Twi'lek or
maybe she's also from Alderaan.
Nah, that's getting tired now too.
They're all from Alderaan. Top 5.
Top five.
Top 5 characters from Alderaan. No. Top 5 guilty pleasures of Star Wars. Star Wars. All right. The Vader hallway scene in Rogue One, because it's awesome. And it's awesome.
Poe Dameron being Poe Dameron.
Yeah, that sounds like you to a T. This one should have been my number 1, but it's not. It's number 4, and it's Ewoks on speeder bikes. How do you not love Ewoks on speeder bikes? That should be everyone's guilty pleasure. Should all be Ewoks on speeder bikes.
I love my number 4 is just like clones being not just cannon fodder. Like, it's great. Like, just Rex, Grease, Fives, Hardtop. Imagine I just sat here and just
name them all. I'd let you go too.
99.
My number 3 are Naboo Starfighters.
Cody. Matchstick. My number 3. That's what we're on. We're number 3. My number 3 is Porgs.
Oh, okay. You went there.
What's the cute thing from? Oh yeah, Bobby Frick. Yeah, they're fun.
My number 2, the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars cartoon. All of it. I love it all.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just sit there and I'll watch it. I love it.
In that same vein, I also really love General Grievous in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, well, that's how I got to this. I was like, I love Grievous. I was like, but I love him in that cartoon.
Yeah, like, is that one canon? I don't think so.
No, it's not. Which is why it's more of a guilty pleasure. But it's also because you see Grievous, like, Mace Windu crushes his lungs, so he can't. So that's how he gets the cough. And that one, which obviously this final season is going to do it, but that one bleeds right into Revenge of the Sith too. Like, it ends so perfectly into Revenge of the Sith. And I absolutely love it. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
That series is like the Boba Fett cartoon in the holiday series. Just like, wow. And it kind of works, but then it's not canon. Or, well, I guess that's canon now. I don't know.
No, it's not. No, none of it is. And the reason why this 2D one is not is because George Lucas used it as little shorts to see if it would work. And then later on, he's like, hey, let's make it something for real. And he hired Dave Filoni, and the rest is history. My number 1. Jar Binks.
JJB.
Jar Binks.
My number 1, you fool. Why did you put this so low? Ewoks. Like, just, it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean specific. Ewoks.
Well, you know what? I was writing my list and they came to mind. And I just put them where I put them on the list. Jar Jar's always going to be my number 1. I love Jar Jar. He's my guilty pleasure of Star Wars. And I like that he's becoming more and more acknowledged and accepted by Star Wars fans. But at the same time, he's mine. You know who's a big fan of Jar Jar Binks?
Who?
Forbes. Scum Mendelson over at Forbes loves Jar Jar Binks.
I don't know why you brought that up.
Just as a joke. We have to go full circle. That's Brock. I'm James. 155 of these, Brock. 155.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
I cannot believe it. I am shocked.
I'm even more shocked than you are. Today, we didn't really talk about what we were supposed to talk about, but we'll be back next week talking about Star Wars. We'll have Clone Wars stuff to talk about next week. Exciting stuff.
I can't believe it.
You can't believe it. I can believe it, but I know why you can't believe it. You can't believe it because you were always scum.
That's true.
Thanks to our guests. You brought your scum.
Thanks. You're scum. Doesn't feel.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.